And a camera. Okay, I think we're live. There we are. Let's see if who shows up. It's James Middick speaking, trainingstates.io. Today's a little bit of an odd session because I hadn't planned on being here because I didn't think I was going to be in the office, but I made it back in time, so here we are. Don't know if anyone's going to come on, so I'll ramble for a little bit, but if there is anyone here, please make sure to add anything into the chat that you have for questions or comments. Let me know where you're from, what you're working on, and I'll do my best to make sure that we get this organized a little bit. Make sure that we get, I'll do my best to answer those questions if it has anything to do with starting, building, and growing your education business and using all of this cool AI stuff. So that's kind of where we're at. There's all sorts of cool stuff that we could talk about, that I could ramble about for a little bit at the start, but then I wouldn't have all the videos that I have in my head to actually go and start spitting them out as quickly as possible. And speaking of spitting them out, actually, that's the next video that I'll post after this. There's a really, really big shift in the education space because of AI, and I think a lot of people are missing it. And I'm going to talk about that today. I'll give you a little hint. It has to do with YouTube, and it has to do with transcriptions from YouTube videos, not courses, but actual YouTube videos and all the transcriptions. So that's kind of the neat space that is, I think, that's flying under the radar. If you are serious about AI and leveraging AI in your education business. So that's kind of cool. So who do we got here? Who came on? The Nomadic God King. Okay, wonderful. Glad to be back. North Carolina. And how to use AI for digital product creation. Perfect. We can talk about that one as well. If there are a particular product, we can actually go through and do a couple prompts and work through those. If it's an educational product or info product, let me know, and we'll actually build one out. I actually did one a little while ago. I had did a custom GPT actually for someone who was writing. I forget what they're called, but they're like mystery books, short mystery books, and it actually turned out pretty well, just with a couple prompts, being able to create some info products. So that's kind of a cool space. We should probably talk about that. And as much as it's a cool space, I think, again, you're going to have to make sure that what you're creating is unique because a lot of people are going to be able to create a lot of info products now. In fact, the customers are going to be able to create their own info products, and the people who you normally compete against are going to have the same tool. So there's a leveling of the playing field there, which provides some challenges for anyone who's in this traditional info marketing space, especially the digital marketing space. I think anyone who's still into that funnel and hard sell and wicked sales copy and big long sales copy, all of those things that are maybe still being taught. I think there's a big shift coming. I've seen it personally, and I know a number of the people that used to be in that space that have been around for quite a while are slowly, if not fast but not showing, transitioning to a little bit of a different model, which is kind of exciting for people. So who else we got here? I always call and check 7 people on perfect. Let me know, thumbs up, where you're at, what you want to cover. And in fact, we can kind of build some tools if you want to as well. So it's an info product. I've actually built it, but I'm now figuring out ways to market it. So far, my product has a 5% conversion rate. Okay. If you here, it's funny you mention that because there's something where you've got a unique situation with a specific person who has a specific challenge. And normally, if you're kind of in the education space, what happens at this point, right? It's like you have some kind of thing and there's a prompt and says, just do this, and ChatGPT spits something out and says, oh, there we go. Everything's perfect. Just do these particular steps. But everyone's situation is a little bit different. So how do we actually use a framework to go and apply that? So that's exactly what I'm going to do right here. I'll open up my screen and we'll kind of take a look at this, and I'll do my best to follow. Now, if you haven't seen this before, this is my my campus blueprint. I'm trying to make it a little bit bigger. On the left-hand side, you can see there's a 10-step campus map here. This is basically an introduction or quick overview to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this, and specifically at the end of it, about being able to market your courses and or content and or education business. So we'll just wait and see who Mark's on. Thank you very much. T. Kevin White, specific, started watching when I was figuring these out. Just curious what you used to build. Graphics for an education course. I'm building an aviation. Retired Air Force pilot. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, so another good question. Another good question. I can show you a couple that I actually did and how I built those as well. And greetings from Germany. Wow, very cool. So here's kind of the gist with here's kind of the gist with all of the way to actually market stuff. And again, this is the campus. If you haven't, please go and watch through this. Again, this is a broad overview of the 10 steps that anyone who's either creating or selling educational content, you're going to go through some of these particular pieces. And I've talked about it in a number of other videos, but you know, it's like this piece here, introduction, kind of introducing the thing, but it's picking that perfect niche and campus topic and theme. That's about that topical authority map, that 1-10-25 model that I always talk about, to make sure that you have a broad picture and category of the solution that you provide. And more importantly, you got a list of 500 or 1,000 questions or challenges that you can build out and answer. And then your campus goals for your education business, and then creating the profitable proven product. So in your particular case, I don't know right off the start, like I don't know exactly how many other products that you have. Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So you've got one product. It is a single product. Is it a group of products? Does it fit into another series of products? So that's kind of the first thing. And that's why I'm talking about, you know, make sure that you go take a look at these. Because if you have a particular goal for your education business or your educational content business, making sure that you understand what it is and what you need in terms of a business model to be able to validate or make sure that, is it one info product? Are you trying to earn $1,000 a month? Or are you trying to earn $1,000 a day? You know, where does that product or that one product fit into kind of the business model or the goals that you have for doing it? Because if you have one set of goals, it changes everything after on, you know, what kind of platform do you need? How are you going to market it? Again, completely different based on those. So, you know, let me know, is it one product, the multiple products? Is it a piece of another product? Those are kind of the things that I'd want to know to have that kind of set out beforehand. And then, you know, I think the part maybe that I'll talk about here is as it relates to building a campus or a community and where a product fits into this. So actually, let me do this because this one's kind of neat. And if you haven't heard of this before, this is actually one that I actually had the domain of it, and I should have kept it, but I didn't. So it's called Hub and Spoke Marketing, and I think I had the domain in like 2004, 2005. I actually did a course on Hub and Spoke Marketing at the time, and this is kind of how this fits in with info products. So let me get my pen here, and I'll get my video pencil. Hopefully, we'll be able to get it so it works properly. Make sure that's all cleared up. There we go, video pencil. Oh, good, I got some writing there, so we'll clear this one up. So if you have an info product, part of the reason that I talk about hub and spoke marketing when it relates to courses and or info products is, and why I talk about that topical authority map, I think, you know, the what I've always been saying is to make sure that you have like that center to the wheel. You have that hub of the actual business. And I've been a big proponent of having one slash membership site, or in my case, campus or community. And that is kind of your home base for everything. And that's irrespective of if you have one info product or 5 info products or other cases, even other types of businesses that are related or complement your main business. I suggest that you make sure that you have that hub, and it is a place where you do things like the billing, the support, the documents, the management. It's for you to make sure you have everything in one place. But more importantly, it's to bring people into your community so that they know where to go, they know where everything is, and you can upsell them to the additional pieces. So this is the way I did it for courses, and this is how I suggest that you do it for info products, kind of before the marketing. So what I did first, again, this is the way I did it a long time ago. It still works, and it's still what I'm doing today. But what I did with info products is I actually had the first course that I did was called 52 Secrets. And that was actually a podcast that I did. Um, and I wrote a book, and it was 52 Secrets My Mom Never Told Me About Internet Marketing. I still have that domain. And basically, it was a podcast. And what I did is I started a weekly podcast, and I did one. My first week, it was 7 or 8 minutes long. I did it. And it was basically me talking into a microphone. And then I did the next week, I did my second one. But the week I did my second one, I told the people on my list, which was small at the time. I think it was like 400 or 500 people that I'd got just, by kind of networking and stuff. But the second week, I told people about the first week and basically said, here's my page on my hub. Go and you can download and check out the actual MP3 file and do it. Now the thing was that when people were on week one, I was only on week two. So all I had to do is make sure that I was 1 week ahead of the first person that joined up. And after 52 weeks, I had 52 MP3 files. So that's one of the first lessons kind of thing is you don't have to have your info products finished before you launch them and you start marketing them. As long as you're kind of one ahead, you have a lot more flexibility in terms of making sure that you're talking about the right stuff that people want to hear about because you're getting feedback from them, either because they're signing up or sharing it and using some of the tools I'm going to talk about in a second. But it gives you the opportunity to pivot / move slightly in the way that you're explaining these 52 secrets. So that's how I kind of started out. I had one product that was 52 secrets. I had an MP3 file, and I basically took part of the transcription and I let people download it, and it was on a page. So it was kind of like a blog post, but it was different at the time because it was an actual MP3 or audio file. So I did 52 secrets, and as I got going on this, one of the things that happened was that I started to get good at blogging. So I did up a couple videos about how I started using WordPress, and I registered a website called Blogging Secrets, and I had an ebook called Blogging Secrets. So do you see what's happening here? After that, I had another one that was called Joint Venture Traffic. I had Get Ranked First on Google. I had sales training for small business. I had virtual selling. So you get the idea here. What happens is that when you're playing around with info products, make sure that you have more than one. And all you need to do is once you have a person who is in one particular product, if they're all related, what you do is you just introduce them to the next particular product that you have. And as long as it's related to the hub. And the way that I did it, as I said, I had a membership site at the hub that was a payment of $97 a month. It was called My Small Biz University. And what I did is I just said, oh, I didn't have this on, my apologies. So I had 52 secrets, blogging secrets, joint venture traffic, get ranked first on Google. I had 80 some sites at the time. And in the middle, I had My Small Biz University. What happened from here is if I sold one, I basically got them sold. And then I said, oh, by the way, I have another product that's called Get Ranked First on Google or Blogging Secrets. And I just had a series of emails that introduced the next product through all of the ones that I had. So if you have multiple info products, you can do this. If you have one, then it's a whole other ball of wax on how you do that. And the part that's important here is when I was talking at the start about making sure that you have that topical authority map here, this piece right here, that is the part that you know or you build out what all of the pieces are here. This is from the topical authority map. These are the categories in the topical authority map. So you basically just do info products on each of these pieces. Now, I was into memberships at the time. I had my small biz university. And what I did is I sold the individual products for $97. And I said, you can buy the product for $97, or you can buy the product for $97 and get 30 days free monthly from the community where you end up getting all of the products. So that's the way that I built mine out. So someone bought something, maybe they bought it. Second time they bought something and they went, oh, this is okay. I like this stuff. And they had the option of paying the $97 and getting 30 days free and getting everything. And guess what happened? Yeah, that's how I built out the membership or the campus and the community by these particular hubs and spokes. So if you're going to have an info product, all I'm saying is figure out first, where does it fit into your business if you're actually going to treat it as a business. If it's something you just want to earn some money at, that's a little bit of a different story. But for a business, think of it in a hub and spoke, and what are the pieces that you need to do that. So far, does that make sense? Like, give me a thumbs up. So is there more than one? My product has a 5% conversion rate. Actually, let's just talk about that for a second. When you say 5% conversion rate, are you buying ads right now and sending people to a sales page and hoping that they buy it? Like, what happens after that? Do you collect them in a CRM or a customer relationship management tool or an autoresponder? Kind of, where are the other pieces that fit into that place? Because that's what happens in the next step when we're playing around and we're talking about, what are you going to do with the tools here? Are you going to put them into some kind of hub? Do you have the tool to be able to market to them in the future? Do you have a way to manage your ads and the conversion rates? Do you have one website or multiple websites, multiple sales pages? Kind of those particular pieces. The other reason that I really, really like, and I want you to consider this, the reason I like the hub and spoke is because you'll find that some of these particular courses will either, or info products will get a higher conversion rate, or there'll be more interest in them. And if that's the case and you start introducing ones that people don't have interest in, don't don't keep on introducing ones that are similar. This is a way to verify, in fact, that you do have a way to message it, that your sales copy is working, that the topics that you're covering are ones that people are actually willing to pay for. And again, on my business model, I have never bought ads before. So when you're saying about a conversion rate, I've never bought ads at all, like zero ads. Um, not and the reason I don't buy ads is because I'm cheap, and then secondly, I don't know enough about them to basically say, yeah, buy some ads. Now, if you are talking to some people who are, pro Facebook ads, or at the time that I was doing it, it was, Google ads, being able to do that and say, yeah, if I spend $100 but I earn $150, I'll spend $100 every day. That part I don't know about, and that's where you have to worry about conversion rates and how much money do you have invest and how much are you actually converting. And that's generally what I've seen from the people. It's kind of a one-off thing, right? So it's, you're selling a product, you're measuring the sales page of conversion rate, but I look at it from a big business that is long-term, not how long can I focus buying ads on that piece. And of course, the other thing that was cool when I was first starting was that um, Google was, search engine traffic was really all that you focused on. And the other one, which I talked about here, and that's for info products, especially important, is this one right here, joint venture traffic. Um, Really, really, really important to be able to verify that in fact you have a 5% kind of thing, and then just start going, say, reach out to people who are complementary to your product or your service and say, hey, are you willing to promote this particular info product that I have? And I can either give you, some kind of split on commission for the traffic that you generate towards my sales page. Or more importantly, what happens is that once you have a relationship for a joint venture or an affiliate, you can go back to your hub and spoke. And even when you don't have your own products, each time you have a joint venture product, you can do the exact same thing. through all of the individual products to supplement them. So you never run out of products. It's your own products and your joint venture products. And the key to this, of course, is having some kind of sales automation or CRM tool that does email, primarily email. I think now there's obviously people are interested in SMS stuff directly to the phone, direct messages. There's a whole bunch of different ways of doing it. I'm still a big fan of email, and I think email is still gold and will remain to be the gold standard. And it's the one thing that you own if you are able to have a community or a membership site or a campus or be able to generate leads and get people to kind of purchase this. So that was kind of a big picture of how I approach it. Obviously there would be some kind of audit with you with multiple products, stuff like that. Do you have a community? Do you have an email list? Do you have a blog or some place to sell that? Is it a service? Is it your own site? That kind of thing. So, I wish there was an easy way to answer it. Big picture is, for me, is build your list, start marketing with email on a regular basis. And I used to write blog posts all the time, and this is what the video I'm doing this afternoon is about. I think you should do, if you can, get comfortable, please do as many YouTube videos as you can, as fast as you can, if you're going to be in the education space. I'm even arguing this afternoon that you should just focus on YouTube videos for all of your marketing. And again, do as many as you can. And there's kind of a secret on that. And just to kind of share it, it's the transcriptions that are of the value. Um, just to give you an idea, kind of giving away, I'll do the full video later, but just to give you an idea of how this fits in the last 12 to 16 months, actually, write this in the chat. How many words do you think that I've got from the transcriptions in the videos that I've done over the last year and a half to 2 years? Just put an idea of how many words in the chat. And then we'll talk about why it's kind of important, especially if you're in an education space. So I'll come back to that in a second because it's pretty flippy. So put in how many words you think are actually in YouTube videos and how they kind of fit in. Okay, Fort Lauderdale. Hi ho! Greetings from Germany. Sorry. Okay. Used to build graphics for an education course. I'm building an aviation course, retired Air Force pilot. Okay, here we go. Not recently retired. Emory University would like to build a series of aviation products. Okay, Kevin. I don't know if it's T or Kevin. We'll go with Kevin. No paid ads, just organic traffic. Social media posts creating for a picture feature pipeline. 50 sales per 1,000 visits to the site. Okay, perfect. Okay. That's one that's one of the ones that in the campus, I think is one of the ones where I think if you are building an education business and you're wondering about what can I do? Do I have to keep on making courses? This is just an example of kind of what we did about scenario learning. So, here's a member who has a unique situation to them. Should I build a course for him, or should we look at how a framework applies and the process that 10 steps that I go through apply to what his goal, and audit is obviously part of the start of that. So scenario learning, if you are building a campus or community, don't get hung up on the courses. Try and find scenarios that actual real people have and see how you can use AI to leverage it, and also the process that you've set out to basically do that. So I'm going to give you 500,000 for the words. Okay, we'll come back to that one after the images. So get your pen ready. Again, I'll put these below. I'm going to show you my very, very, very favorite way to create graphics for courses and or videos, and even PowerPoints is kind of a cool one to use. But there's a couple. This one here, this one called gamma.app. This is a really nice one for creating graphics. This one is kind of one that's good for PowerPoint decks, but again, doesn't have to be used for a PowerPoint deck. The reason this one is nice is it basically uses AI to create the graphics, the slides, everything in between, and includes the images and graphics, just to give you an idea. And this one's free. They have a paid one, and of course you can go and edit those ones. So that one's a nice one if you're building kind of decks that you really, really like. That one's called gamma.app. So that one's a cool one. And again, there's more coming out all of the time. And I'm just trying to think of the one. I'll think of that one in a second. I will show you one that I actually created with the new ChatGPT, the new graphics one. Let me show you this one here. One of the things that I did create is I needed some images that were specific to the shopping cart, not the course, but these images here, these ones that I'm showing you right here, these are actual ones that I basically gave to ChatGPT and said, hey, I need to have a simple icon slash graphic for the products, and they have to be this dimension, and this is what the product category is about. And I gave my fonts and my color palettes and basically said, here's one about a campus membership. And you can see they came up with, a university and a membership card. I didn't do any of this. This was just straight prompting and had images came up. The one thing that is really cool about using ChatGPT for this now is there's no spelling errors anymore. A lot of times when this was first used, it was like the words were either spelled incorrectly or the letters were all stacked up on each other. So those ones create really, really nice, clean images if they're simple. That's one. More images. Actually, just let me know in the chat there for a second. Do you need like bullet point images or do you need graphics for these particular ones? So, is it what exactly in terms of the content for the images are you looking for? 1.2 million. Actually, here's, we'll come back to this. I've forgotten the name of one of the different ones that I have. So let me pull it up here. I have it, if you're looking for some of these links and you're looking on the left-hand side of the screen here, you'll see there's resources that are on the bottom here, resource links. I have a number of the resource links that are here, and I'm just trying to remember off the top of my mind the one that I wanted for graphics. Where the heck is it? Darn, I can't remember it. I will in a second. But I will show you the graphics that come for it. How's that? Do this one here. I'm just going to open another screen so we have it. This is actually this screen. I have a couple courses on this one. This is Fluent Boards, which is the project management tool that I have directly in my site. And this is one for all the YouTube videos that I do. So these are the projects, upcoming ideas for YouTube videos are here. But the one I want to show you right now is I'm gonna show you a course that I used, the tool that I'm thinking of that I can't remember the URL for creating the course videos. So hopefully this will help. There, this one here. So this particular video here, or this image that's here, basically what this one does is when you have your document, you can pick a selection of the document. So you just kind of highlight the piece of the document that you want, and then it will create graphics for it. And it does a really, really, really good job of creating graphics and Venn diagrams. There's like 50 different variations, and you pick one kind of style, it'll give you 10 variations of it. And again, you can change the fonts, everything that you need. In this particular case, I used it in each of the actual courses that were here. Let me just see another one here. I think I had one in almost all of them. Yeah, there's one here, for example. So these are all graphics that were created. If I can't remember it in today, what I'll do is I'll make sure that I put it in the link on the copy of this particular video. It's bugging me now. You know when you want to remember something, you can't remember it? That's that's what's happening here. So GAM is a good one. I can't remember that one. It's really bugging me. The other one is if you want really, really quick and simple presentations, one of the ones that I use to cheat on is just using you can use a PowerPoint deck, things like that. The one that I use on a lot of occasions is this one here, which is Xmind, or a mind mapping tool. And one of the things that you can do is they do have a thing called pitch. And hopefully this comes up so that you can see it. On this one, let me just do the left monitor. I think you might be able to see that one there. Yeah. Let's try the right monitor. No, I'm not going to be able to show it. So this particular one, basically, it allows you to do a pitch throughout the entire meeting. And actually it goes through just through a slide, and it's based on the way that you've actually got your what's the word I'm looking for? It's based on the way that you have your mind map set up, which is kind of neat. So sorry that didn't show up properly there. Melanie, napkin. Oh, thank you, Melanie. Thank you very much. That was the one I was looking for. Let me show you that one. That's these ones, these images here that I was just showing you. These ones are from Napkin. And I've been a Napkin user for a long, long time, and I'll show you how this one works. Thank you for bringing that one up. I couldn't remember. I was thinking of there's Tactic, which is another one. But the Napkin is the one. And I'm not sure that they're actually charging for that one yet. It's been in beta for, I think, 8 or 9 months now. And that one is a really, really cool tool. So, and again, this is napkin.ai. And I think we'll sign in, see if I can get signed in. Yeah, it's still in beta up at the top here. See if we can get signed in here. Okay. Yeah, so when you use this, you can basically upload a doc or even cut and paste the text in. And in this case, for example, this was one for another course. Let me open up my library. Here's the campus map course, the one that I was just showing you. So if I have, in my case, I have a 10-step, this online education piece. I just highlight the 10 steps, for example, and you'll notice there's just a little lightning sign there, and I can click it, and it basically creates some presentations with the 10 steps, and you can choose on the left-hand side which style that you want to basically pick. And it will create it, and you can play around and edit with it. So Napkin is a really powerful tool if you're trying to put images that relate to the text content directly within any of the tools. So these aren't questions or images that are stock images that relate, in your case, for example, to aircraft. However, these are ones that if you're teaching processes or things, steps to follow, this is an easy way to kind of show the relationship between a bunch of different products or a bunch of different processes that you may have to copy. Yeah, Mark said it first. I didn't. Oh, there it was. Okay, perfect. Let me just go back to this one. Yeah, graphics for airplanes and drone with diagrams. Yeah. So yeah, and remember these are just graphics, right? So you can create the ones that you need. Um, I'm sure now that Google, the Google suite of stuff, will be able to create from a prompt, be able to create stuff that's getting not bad. And in fact, one of the things that I have done in the past is if I'm creating the written content for a course, I will also prompt and ask to say, can you please give me the exact prompt that I should feed to ChatGPT to generate this image? So I basically ask AI to give me the prompt to give to AI to generate the image. So if you need a graphic of an airplane with a diagram or anything like that, and you're writing text about it, just ask the AI tool to basically do the same thing, to give you the prompt to give to the AI tool. So those are kind of the ones that I use. I don't do a lot of ones with graphic images where real life ones, but the Google tools in the Google suite, there's Kling.ai, there's Sora, there's a whole bunch of them now that would probably do a pretty good job for you. Yeah, and the other thing to remember is with a number of tools, you can now paste an image, for example, that is on a screen and then start using something like a video pencil and diagram on top of the image so that you can explain things while you're going, which is another thing because obviously you can record that as well. I think Webflow has one like that. I know I'm using one that's called a video pencil, where if I have an image or a screen, I can diagram on top of the screen and actually record it. So you should have a lot of different kind of options there. And here we go. So I will tell you right now that let me just do this one, just again, put it into perspective. Right here, I have 450 YouTube videos that I've done in the last 12 to 16 months. And on average, I went for 20 minutes. And there's approximately, and again, this is what I got from ChatGPT, 3,500 words for 20 minutes. And I've got 700 videos on Vimeo. So I have 3.25 million words in text. Okay, 3.5 million words in text. Now you may be saying, why do I want to have text? And again, this is in detail in the video a little bit later. Here's my kind of belief on how this all AI stuff is going. When you create a video and you have the transcription, you basically have a huge library of text or training for the AI tools, right? And if you have all of that text, it can be indexed by a vector database, which is what these AI tools work on. And if you have an agent on your website, or if you build an app, which is stuff that's coming, it's available now, and it's going to be more prevalent in the next 3 to 6 months, you now have, instead of going out and going to the training that the large language model has, I now have 3 million words of text with my personal stories, my personal approaches, my processes, everything that is there in text. And these AI agents reference my content before they go to external content. And if you have the text, you also have the video that is associated with the text. And that's why, if you have the choice between creating a course with 10 or 15 videos and trying to sell that course, yes, you can do it. I would much rather have 200, 300 videos that might be small, might be a little bit longer, but it's me basically talking about my expertise, what I'm passionate about, and having the transcriptions that the AI tools can leverage, that is a personal course for people who ask questions through the agent about you and your content. So that's kind of the way that it's going. And for me, if you're just starting out, please get comfortable on YouTube. Start playing with YouTube. Even if you're not good at it, play around with it, do some copies, get used to seeing yourself on camera, listen to yourself. You're going to find that sometimes you just are awful and you don't explain yourself well. Other times you'll notice that you use language patterns or approaches and things, and you go, hey, wait a second, I know what I'm talking about. And do more of that and less of the other one. And you're going to be amazed and delighted at how quickly you can get up to speed and at least comfortable enough to start making videos. The other thing is, and this is even more important now, is since VO3 that came out from Google last 2 weeks ago now, where you can give a text prompt and create 8 seconds of video. And if you want to do that 4 or 5 times or 10 times, you've now got a full-size video. It is AI generated, not with you. There's going to be a ton of that coming out. And then I think what's going to happen is everyone going to go, wait a second, that's just a VO video. So don't get hung up on editing, do live edits, talk to the camera, show stuff on the screen like this, capture it, and make sure that you have the transcription for each and every one of them so that it's available to have when you're using AI agents and all of these web apps and things that are creating stuff on the fly. So hopefully that kind of makes sense when you're thinking about this. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm working as fast as I can. What else we got for question? Who else has got some questions? 39 minutes, been blathering on about this. It's really cool stuff. There's lots happening this week, actually, which I'm trying to get to as quickly as possible. Lots of stuff going on here on the trainingsites.io campus. And again, if you're watching this after the fact, please go and join trainingsites.io /join. That's my privately branded campus. my hub in a series of spokes. And it's a chance for you to really think about how am I going to make my education business unique moving forward. So, what else we got here? What else is happening? We can talk about campuses if you want, or is there something AI specific? Anything else with info products? Do you want to look at some prompts for that? Let me know, and we'll go through that as best I can, obviously in short. Okay, what else we got here? Yeah. Actually, I'll tell you a secret. Um, my wife actually had her knee replaced yesterday. So it's one of those ones where there's a lot of stuff going on at work and a lot of stuff going on at home. So that's why I'm a little bit behind on all of these particular videos, and I'm trying to keep up with the AI stuff, which changes like hourly almost, which is kind of cool, but it can be challenging if you're in that space and you really want to be able to share it, which is the part that I'm super excited about. So hopefully that will help there. Um, yeah. So what else is going on? Give me a shout here. I will tell you while I'm waiting if I don't get any more questions. Marketing for the campus. Okay, we'll focus on that one because that is a good one. Um, here's you know that hub and spoke model. This is the business model that I've been using, and I quite like it. And there's a couple reasons for it, and I'll talk about this. It isn't a video. I did a whole video on this, but I'll do it right now just so that it kind of makes sense this time here. So this is the way that I look at businesses now. So, you know, we were always taught traditionally to have a sales funnel. I want a sales pyramid. And the reason I want that is the market has shifted for all kinds of content, info content businesses, because content is no longer unique, and trying to protect content or hide content, I don't think has any value, because not only can your competitors create it using the same prompts that you are, the customers can create it. So the way that I do this is there's the DIY people, and again, these are people like you that are trying to figure this out. There's DIY people that want to do it themselves, and they basically just want to know, how do I do this, or how can you kind of make it a little more simple for me, or what is the process that you use? And I give that away for free. So there's no charge for DIY content because it's free anywhere. Anyway, so I basically give away any kind of content that I generate, whether it be on YouTube or here on the campus or prompts or stuff. I just give it away because those are DIY people. They're do it themselves, right? There's another group of people that are the done with you people who have been trying to do it themselves, but either run into a unique situation or something that they're not sure of, or they need something clarified. They need some help kind of working with it, or they need some help from a mentor or a guide that has done it before. And those people are willing to pay some money to streamline the fact that they don't have to try and figure it themselves, but they're not getting someone else to do it for them, which is this group here, which is the done for you group. And those people will actually pay money just to say, hey, I don't have time. I don't want to learn. I just want to get it done. Can you please do it for me? So this business model is fundamentally different than what used to be. You know, have advertising, get as many people as you can, sell a low ticket offer, you know, try and get them up to an upsell market. This is kind of the market that I work on the business model. Now, here's the way that I market this, and then I'll show you kind of what happens. But for me, all I do at the bottom is YouTube videos. I create as many YouTube videos as I can as quickly as possible for two reasons. One is because I have the transcriptions of the content that I want. Well, actually, three reasons. One is I have the transcriptions of the content um, that I actually create, and I'll just open one up so we can actually go and see it here. So one, of course, is that you actually go and you open up your channel and There we go. So right now I've got 480 videos, 2,300 subscribers. Right now I get another 250 to 300 subscribers a day kind of thing on these ones. And I have, videos that are being done. Some do really well, other ones don't do well at all. But the thing here is I give this content away and I try and do as much as possible. Here's the reasons why. If you get, so for example, this one here, Courses Are Dead, 104,000 people in 1 month. Right now, 39 views per hour. Every time I have a video, there's only one purpose to the video, and I've already done it once today. And that is that throughout the video, I will say, everyone, please go join trainingsites.io. It's my personally branded campus, and it's free. The reason I do that is because I look at this YouTube as my marketing, and the purpose of the marketing is to get people to subscribe to the community where I have their email address and they're part of my ecosystem. So the big picture here is I use this YouTube part. That's the audience. So think of your own TV station, right? I want to be an authority and I want people to tune in on a regular basis to the stories, to the content that I'm creating on YouTube. And the reason I want to do that is the base or the foundation, I think, of any education business now is, in fact, the amount or the size of the audience that you can actually start growing with. If you are trying to say, I've only got one course, I've only got one piece of content, I'm going to try and sell it, you're going to probably have to do stuff with joint ventures and generic content and Facebook ads and social media. You're going to have to do all of these things to get people into a traditional funnel and work on, writing good sales copy and lead funnels and follow-ups and opt-ins and that stuff. I just say I got one opt-in. The opt-in is a community. I do videos as much as I can. Every video at the start of it, I have one other thing here. Let me just show you. If you open any of my videos, maybe if you're watching this the very, very first thing that it has above the fold, every video that I have starts right here with this one right here. Join the community, trainingsites.io/join. That's the first thing that happens. Every single video is the same. The second thing is every single video has a pinned comment, and the pinned comment is join the community. Those are the only offers that I make in them. It's the only thing I talk about is join the community, because when someone joins the community, they automatically are part of my community, and I also have their email address. I have your email address, and I bought it by giving away my community. So hopefully that part kind of fits in to what you're thinking. Again, I have a longer term view of this, right? I don't spend ads. I don't worry about SEO. I don't do any social media on my own, and I'll show you how I get around that in a second. I just focus on making YouTube videos, again, as quickly as I can, as fast as I can. So that's kind of the baseline or the community part of it. The done with you part on mine is I have the campus pass. And for that one, we have live workshops where we actually do stuff once a week over and above this, where these are Zoom calls. We actually work on stuff. This is the done with you part. So whether it's you saying, hey, I'm trying to do this, or how do I do this with my campus, or I want to think of something a little bit differently, and we basically work on it. And these are your unique situations in a shared space where we can actually work on it. And that's the done with you stuff. And right now I charge $249 a quarter to basically go and be part of that. Here's my quick kind of sales pitch idea. And it's not a sales pitch, but if you go to trainingsites.io/pass, you're going to see the sales page here, and it's basically $249 a quarter is there. And people can, if it's the first time here, they can join the free community, or if they want some done for you, we have the agency side stuff that we can do here. If they just say, hey, I want a campus, I want some courses, I want marketing set up, I want you to create content for all of this stuff, the agency side will basically take care of that, which is the agency side up here at the top. So I look at it by going this way, not down through a funnel. So none of the traditional stuff that happens. My personal belief, again, this is my personal belief, is because AI is changing the ability of our customers and our competitors to create content, we got to figure out a different way. And the community is my moat in terms of the business. So that ability to have something unique that's my own style and my own content is just me, raw. That's the part that either protects me or um, what's the word? It does protect me either rightly or wrongly. And the thing is, you want people to be talking about you if they don't like you and if they do like you. And if you have enough people that do like you and the way that you're presenting stuff and the content that you have, they're willing to be part of the community. And if they need some extra help, they're going to be able to basically say, yeah, I need some extra help for a little bit of time. So when I'm marketing it, that's all I do. And here's the most important part. Let me just go one last piece here. I'm just going to bring up a page so that we can actually see it here. I'll just bring it up to, just trying to bring it to a dashboard so I can show you one thing just so that you kind of see where this fits in. Let me do this one first. Yeah, so here we go. I got one subscription that's open. So here's one of the things for me. Again, this is the back end of the live site, and if you look at the top here, just from the forums, there's 3,289 people who are part of the community that went in through a form. I have a whole bunch of other ways to do it, but that just gives you an example. So there's 3,200 people that have raised their hand and said, "Hey, I'm interested. There's something here that I like. Maybe a lot, maybe a little, maybe, hey, they're not overly interested." But after that, what happens for me is on the left-hand side, we've got Fluent CRM. They're in my CRM and they automatically get into, as part of the community, there's a series of automations. There's an onboarding automation, and then that whole hub and spoke kind of marketing thing where people go through, and we've got no login re-engagement, monthly mentorship offers, new YouTube video posted. These are a whole bunch of automations that basically do all of the marketing for me, but they're in my community as part of the community. So does that kind of make sense? Marketing for the campus, that's the way that I have it set up. Is it for everyone? No, it has to do with your business model. And I would hope or think that if you're looking at this from a little bit of a longer term view and you do have some passion and you want to share it, and it's not just about selling a product to have a quick side hustle to get rid of it, um, you're going to have to think a little bit more about the community part as opposed to I only have one single info product. And that's why I hope, I know you're watching this. I hope you take the time to just make sure that you know what business you're in and who you're helping and what's going to make your product or service a little bit different than what everyone else is doing. So hopefully that kind of happens and we go through. So, okay, what else we have? So that's how I market the campus, that kind of space. Um, DIY people free, done with you money, and people will pay more for done with you than they will for a course. And I offer it as a subscription. And then the done for you is if they just run out of time. And again, that is can be a one-on-one mentoring one. Like done with you is group, right? But if you want to go one-on-one, yeah, absolutely. We can do one-on-one mentoring program. Um, I have the trainingsites.io/mentor is the offer that I have there. And people pay extra to have one-on-one service, far more than they would for a course, whether that course is a $97 course or a $297 course. So that's kind of the place that I'm looking at. One thing I will just mention too is this whole thing with courses. When we first started, it was it was this passive income goal where all I need to do is have an info product and people will buy it on a regular basis like clockwork. It has been my experience that, and especially recently, that is very difficult to do except for two ways. One is you spend a lot of money to advertise or get traffic into the course and you have a really good sales page. The second way that I've seen it done is that if you already have an existing community or customer base or campus and then you say, hey, I'm going to create a course or something special. You can do really, really well with a course if you have an existing core group of people who already say, yeah, I really like that, and you've clarified it in a way that I like, and I want to consume that content. But after you get outside of that group of people, you're back to the how do I get new people? How do I get them in? And what makes my stuff different? Or what am I doing that's different that someone else can't do? So, okay, there. Hopefully, this kind of stuff is happening or helping you. Is there other questions that you have? Anything that you want to talk about when it comes to AI? I got a couple minutes left. Um, what else is there that was? Oh, I will share with you one last thing before we finish up. One of the things that I've done personally here with some of the automations that I have is I have not, and this is the best thing about communities. One of the questions you asked about marketing the communities, this is one that I have not started yet, and I will start next week. What is it? The easiest way to market a community is through referrals from community members. So if you have, or you're starting to build out a community and you can get the community members either way by gamifying it, or if you're able to get them to basically refer people free to the community, you can do that with an affiliate program. So gamification we'll cover in another time, but an affiliate program, if someone signs up, starting at, well, actually they're already done, but I haven't started doing it. If someone signs up for the community, you are automatically an affiliate. So in this case here, there's 4,000 people on the community list that are here available. Technically, they're all affiliates. And what I can do is, you'll see this next week, it'll actually happen where you can incentivize and or allow people to refer friends, other associates to the free community for the content. And then you have people in your community kind of system that are all set up. And in fact, you can do things and say, hey, if you refer 10 people, you get an hour-long coaching session. Or you get a quarterly campus pass if you refer 100 people to the campus. So there are some people that are going to do it, and there's other people who really don't want to do it, but they have an affiliate link that they send in an email to someone, or they send it out in their newsletter list, or they're part of a joint venture with someone and they're trying to say, hey, what can I do to add value to my offer? Here's something I can give away for free. It doesn't cost me anything, but hey, if I do, I may either get something, or even if it is a paid offer, I'm going to pay a commission or something on, as an example. Now, the reason I'm showing that to you is next week, this, I think we'll find out here in a second. Next week, there we go, Fluent Affiliate is launched. So I use WordPress and a WordPress community with Fluent Community, Fluent CRM, Fluent Boards, Fluent Support. Fluent Affiliate is the other piece that will be available next week. And that means that anyone who's a member of the community is automatically an affiliate. And we have copy for people to send to their list out. We have social media posts and things that people can share about the community. And there's incentives for sharing, whether that is a paid one or additional services directly within the community. So that one will be out next, and that is a powerful one for communities. Again, if you have an active community where you're getting people to actually do stuff. And the other cool one that I have the demo for that isn't even released yet, this is in beta, is Fluent Cart, which replaces WooCommerce. So in terms of privately branded communities, I'm using the whole suite of Fluent tools. There are other ones for software as a service. The other one I recommend is Circle, which is very similar to this, but doesn't have some of the pieces. So the cart, the affiliate, the project management, the support, the CRM, the community, and the courses, it's all in one space. It's that hub to your your hub and spoke business. So those are kind of neat things that are kind of happening in the background here. Hopefully I'm going to do a video on the cart, just how it fits into this, but the affiliate program and the plugins will be available next week moving forward. And then from that, it's just creating videos on YouTube about starting, building, and growing an education business. So if you're doing fighter jets, if you're playing guitar, if you're teaching communication skills, doesn't matter what it is, build out the topical authority map, figure out that big broad topic and all the categories, all the problems and challenges people are having, and start building the answers directly within your community. Now, I've been on an hour here, 60 minutes, 61 minutes. I will do one thing if you guys give me a thumbs up, and I will quickly go over the topical authority map. Can you send out a newsletter with time and date when you're going to go live? Good question. There's New Zealand Pridey, I think. That's it. Another good question. I have a plugin. This is the one thing that Fluent Community is missing this quarter. It should come next quarter. I have a plugin that is called Modern Event Calendar, and that one's here in classes. And I'll just show you this for a second. This is a separate WordPress one that I really, really like. Again, it's called Modern Event Calendar. I really like the way it works. I have these events that I have put in, there's something that doesn't work for me. And the first one is that all of the classes normally are here, but what happens is that I think this one kind of works on either the server time, not my Eastern time, and it removes the daily one that's here. So the link should have been here, is what I'm trying to say. So normally they will be here and you'll be able to go and see it. And on this one, actually today, I had it booked off as a separate time because I was at a off-site appointment yesterday and today. I didn't think I'd actually be able to come on today. And I said I'd do this on Friday. And I will do it actually on Friday as well. I'll do another one same as these. But this is one that's a modern event calendar. You know, it's got a really sharp, nice look to it. The ability to embed or have a virtual event. That one's in classes, so they will always be there. And hopefully this will be part of Fluent Community in the next little while, but this one is called Modern Event Calendar. There's one called the Events Calendar, which I like, but it doesn't look nearly as nice as Modern Event Calendar. So those ones are there. And you have a link in here, and they should be available. Through here is a virtual event, but they're always available on the YouTube channel just on Wednesdays at 1 o'clock. I'll just open this one up here. So it's youtube.com and it's the @ training sites. And that will bring up the channel. So it'll always come up here as well. There we go. Yeah, so it'll always come up in the live here as well if you visit the training sites community there. Okay, so yeah, what was the other thing I was going to answer there? I was kind of talking about something. Oh yeah, here's the one. Send out the newsletter. That's the other thing I'm not struggling with, but I run out of time for. And it's a really good question. There is a newsletter, or actually something that comes out on Monday that is basically all the updates for the previous week, and that comes out from Fluent Community. I need to spend more time with the weekly newsletters that are being sent out. And that's actually another story. Oh, St. Vincent. Sorry. Okay, my apologies. NZ pretty. Okay, cool. Very cool. I did not know that. I was assuming you're from New Zealand. So there we go. So I got to work on sending out the actual newsletter. And normally I do send it out on the morning of. It'll usually go out, but because I didn't think I was going to be on today, I didn't send it out. So that one comes out. If you're on the list, you should get that. If not, it will be in the classes section. So I'm going to show you one thing. Please do this. It's the start of everything, and if you do it, it's going to make everything a lot easier for you. And what am I talking about? Let's go this one right here. I'll just talk about it briefly because it is that important. Is please go on the left-hand side. When you're here, go to the prompt library. And in the prompt library, you just say type in authority, and this one right here, which says content or topic authority map. There are some prompts here. Please copy the prompts, print them out, and save them. Everything comes from this one thing. And I'll open it up for you and then I'll show you a live one. But basically what this does is it allows you to understand and identify the marketing message, the content, and the course ideas, and allows you to be able to explain it. And you have a library of content that you can create directly from this particular map. So I'll go through this quickly, and I have a whole bunch of content about it, but I want to create a topical authority map. My core topic is, and I did this last week, I think, with someone. So the example I used was pickleball in one of them, and it says, please give me 30 semantically relevant but unique subtopics with content pillars under the topic. And then after I get these 30 semantically relevant um, unique subtopics, and note that when it's semantically relevant, that means that they're related in search. So it's not just out in left field. It's either those combinations of the main topic plus a second word. It means that they're related in questions, in or searches, or if someone is talking about it. So those are done. And then we got 30 different categories, and I usually break it into some pillars, right? And I did action for discussion areas and workshop. And then I said for each of those variations, so I have 30, for each one of the 30, for the subtopic, give me 10 useful variations or angles I could use for the content. And then for each one of those, I said, give me 25 questions for each variation. So if you do that for your topic, and then for 30 relevant category subtopics, and then for each of these particular ones, you've got variations of a subtopic, and each of those you have 25 questions or challenges. You now have an absolute library of content that you want to be able to create. And just to give you an example of how this works, I did one for pickleball, one of the first ones that I did, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. But on this one, just as an example, maybe try and make it a little bit bigger so you can. Yeah, so basically, main category was pickleball, and then here's pickleball strategy, trends, tips, basics, equipment, rules, court dimensions, serving techniques, history. For seniors, grip techniques, footwork, spin shots, and then here's 10 different variations for strategy. So this is just the first one. I said, give me 10 variations of strategy. And it was for beginners, tactics, doubles, game plans, serving techniques, court positioning, aggressive players, mental strategies, drills. So there are 10 different ones for that one. So if you just do that, you have 300 different topics that are right there. And if I did one for beginners, I did it for a whole bunch of them down here. And again, this is available for you. And I basically said at the end, I said, give me 25 questions for one of those particular ones. And I did a whole bunch of them actually here. This is the one that I did for the actual course that I did up on pickleball. Where is it? Let me see if I can get to the bottom here. I didn't put the question in, or maybe I did. Yeah, and basically the last prompt just says, hey, give me 25 in order of search or of order of importance, 25 of the top challenges or questions people have about whatever that particular topic is. If you do that, you have your courses laid out, you have everything is available to you when you're creating content in your education business. And I'm going to show you one last thing just because I'm excited about it and I really like it. Remember I was talking about that hub and spoke? If you have that topical authority map that I was just talking about, guess what else you have? Each of those categories, each of those ones that we can't was started with 30, those can be an individual course or an individual info product. And guess what you have? You have the 25 top questions or challenges for each of those, and you now have the content for your courses. And also, if you've got 25 challenges or questions that you also have each one of those is a social media post or an email. So everything starts from this particular map. Figure out what it is and start focusing your business on that. And if you do it one at a time, you're going to find some stuff sticks, some stuff doesn't. Do more of what sticks and what doesn't stick. So hopefully this stuff kind of helps out. Again, I get super excited about it, not only because it's fun content, because it's changing all of the time. And there's some, I think there's some really, really cool things happening in the AI space in relating to how the content gets created and delivered. And if we get ourselves set up so that we have those privately branded communities where we can deliver marketing slash content messages to our audience so that they become part of the community, we're going to be able to monetize it over the long term and not just sell one course or something like that. So hopefully that helps. I'll bring it in for landing if there aren't any more questions. Again, if you're watching this another time, please go to trainingsites.io/join and like and subscribe to the channel here on YouTube. I'll put together as many YouTube videos as I can in the next day or two because I'm a day behind or so. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Any more last questions? No, yes, no. Last ones? No. That's it. That's all. Thank you, guys. We'll see you again next Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Take care and expect the best, everyone. Bye bye.